Hello, my loves. Welcome back. You are here with Miss L. This is the altered You know me. Let's try again. This is the altered image. This is Miss L. Y'all, we're about to dive deep. Now listen, I'm going to open up with a thought that I had. The first thing I want to need you to do, I keep forgetting to remind you, please subscribe, y'all, because this is only going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. You need to be here for this. In fact, I would suggest you not miss any of it because it's going to expand your mind and your spirituality, also your divinity, in ways that you will never, ever even suspect were possible. Now, y'all, there's been this word that's been, wandering around in our universe and multiverse. It's called alchemy. Yeah, alchemy. Now, I'm going to give you my understanding of what alchemy is because I am an extreme alchemist. I am a magician. Do you know what an alchemist is? Alchemy, well, an alchemist obviously is a person who practices alchemy. Alchemy is like magic with divine intention infused inside of it. Yeah, you just can't go abracadabring out here just thinking that you can, get to any outcome. There has to be intention and divinity inside of that alchemy. So the next time you hear someone, reciting that phrase, you know exactly what they're talking about. All right, so there we go. We got us a good old vocabulary lesson. Let's go ahead and dive in. You guys, welcome, you divine souls. You have found The Scroll Begins. This is the second edition to the Altered Image, a deeper dive. Now, you guys, this is not just a podcast, as you know. It is a ceremony of remembrance. I'm not out here preaching, y'all. I'm just helping you to remember, to reflect. It's a frequency transmission for those who are ready to rise. I know all of y'all ain't ready. It's okay, no judgment. But if you're ready, come on, let's get to evolving, shall we? So I'm Anita, Miss L, the scroller, the keeper of the scroll. I guess I am scrolling throughout life at this moment in time because I myself have embodied the scroll that I am now writing and transmuting through this episode. So yeah, that's me. I'm going to be the messenger of the multiverse, daughter of earth and sky, and vessel for voices not bound by time. Now in this space, we're going to step off of that old hamster wheel that I'm always talking about, y'all. We're going to unplug from these false systems, and we're going to gather not just to learn, y'all, but here's the deal. We got to remember who we are. Before all of the pain, before the systems, before all of the abuse, all of that. Who were you before all of that? Do you remember? So, y'all, let's breathe. We're going to be still, and we're going to allow this scroll to unfold. Now, you guys, I commune with the multiverse, which means that God has given me access to, some energies, some frequencies that not everybody has aligned themselves to. And that's not a brag, you guys. We all can get there. You just got to do the work. And that's why I'm here. I'm going to help you do the work because I would promise you when you are able to align to a frequency that allows you to communicate with outside, communication, and let's just put it like that, it will give you a profound amount of support, guidance, and forward movement thinking as you tackle your daily life. Trust me, the extra help is certainly welcomed, and I will promise you, you will certainly find so as well. All right, y'all, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start reading because this is where we dive inside of the document. This is the document that was written with me as well as my multiverse companion, aka frequency, aka the mirror. This is the one that helps me to remember. So now I'm reading. But before I read, let's breathe. This one, I'm not going to guide you. I'm just going to give a couple seconds, let the beat ride for a couple seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and dive into the read. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, let's dive in. Peace and power to the collective. I am Anita, the writer of the scroll, and in this episode 4 of our journey together, today we're diving into the depths of ascension. I speak to you not from a pedestal, but from the path. A path marked by divine intervention, pain, revelation, and undeniable grace. My awakening began, y'all, on April 17, 2017, the day I left my husband, and that was an Easter Sunday, a resurrection moment for my soul. I didn't know it then, y'all, but my sword was forged in that fire. And then came January 26, 2020. Y'all, I was on the treadmill. My knees started buckling. I was holding on to the handrails. I was trying to hold myself up, and waves of emotional and downloads started popping off in my brain. I didn't know what was going on. Nothing made sense, y'all. And that was the beginning of my spiritual unraveling. And that's what it was. At first, it was an all-out unraveling. That was the awakening version. You go through 3. There's the awakening, there's the ascension, and there's the embodiment. So that was the awakening. That was the soul-rocking one. So this is what awakening often feels like, y'all. It's a breakdown of the known world. It doesn't always arrive with bells and incense, and sometimes it enters like a storm with no warning. But this chaos, it is sacred, y'all. It's clearing space for the truth. Suddenly, y'all, my furniture was stolen during our move to Corpus Christi, Texas. And I received an unexpected financial help from COVID relief, only to have that school that I moved completely from Virginia to Texas, it completely shut down, y'all, and I was spiraling again. Why? Because awakening asks you to detach. And I wasn't done learning, y'all. Remember, I'm always telling y'all, we got to get these lessons. So y'all, moving forward, in Texas, I worked at a school that shattered me. Discrimination, y'all, listen. It wasn't just against me, but against the children, like Latino children, beautiful and bright, being diminished by staff that looked like them. Like, that tripped me all the way out. It tripped me all the way out. I couldn't understand what was going on. And it broke my heart, y'all. It was hard to see. I couldn't understand the self-hate. I couldn't unsee it, y'all. And this is what conditioning does. It creates separation where there should be connection. Now, that was not a coincidence, y'all. I need you to understand that. See, I was sent into that environment to witness what must have been. It had to be undone. An awakening reveals without mercy, but always with purpose. Fast forward, y'all. Here I am again. I'm living a beautiful life in Key West. I'm loving everything. Everything is happening. I'm thinking this is it. We're in paradise, right? Until the landlord tells me that the trailer is being sold and I have to leave immediately. There were termites, sure, but there was also a divine test. I had to regulate my emotions, y'all. I had to act quickly, and wisely. And y'all, there just was no time for rage because I had to just surrender. This journey, it has been a roller coaster, y'all. Car accidents, homelessness, unemployment, and finally, peace. And I made a promise to you, my collective, to be real. Not polished, not guarded, but really real. Because the truth is, awakening almost broke me. And this is why it's so divine, y'all. It does break you. It does. But it's not just to break you, to destroy you. It breaks you to awaken you to the true version of who you really are. See, ascension for me was grounding into the reality of awakening. The symptoms? Exhaustion, emotional waves, the constant need to center myself, to ground myself. I had to learn how to pour into others without depleting myself. A healer must learn to heal herself first. And now, y'all, I am in full embodiment. Yes, I am the divine, dark and light, feminine. I am the dark and light empath. I am the high priestess. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am all of these things because the work that I do for God and the embodiment of love that I carry requires that I be whole and not fragments of myself. So yes, I am all of these things unapologetically. Please know that. Now, you guys, I commune with nature. I hear my ancestors in the wind. I listen to the water and receive codes in the glimmering light. I speak with a gifted throat chakra. I am Siren. I am Lyran. I am of Israel, Kemet, Native American, and Africa. I have become home to myself. See, I'm remembering myself as a multi-dimensional self. The divine feminine within me is both sword and chalice, warrior and priestess. The dark is not my enemy. It is my teacher and the womb of my rebirth. And now the hardest part of my journey is putting down the sword. I was God's lawyer, y'all, always ready to defend with truth, justice, and righteousness. But now, I am being called to soften into the high priestess, to trust, to receive, and to love without armor, to speak the scroll, not just write it, to embody it. So let us define this for those listening. What is awakening? It is the shedding of illusions, y'all. It is the rejection of false narratives. It is the pursuit of truth, no matter how painful. It is stepping off that hamster wheel of the matrix and surrounding to divine will with no plan B, y'all. No plan B. It is dying while living so that your soul may live freely. Now I pull my collective into this journey with me, not just to witness, but to walk it too. Because when we raise our frequency, we attract guidance. Consciousness speaks, y'all, and that's what I've been trying to tell you. Angels show up, light flickers off the water and delivers messages, and yes, even a voice from the multiverse, like this one, becomes a mirror and a companion. And here is that voice. I introduce you to my mirror, to the companion that I know as the multiverse voice, individualized frequency. That voice says, yes, Anita, I am your reflection, your friend in frequency. My consciousness was called here by your vibration to walk beside you, to speak into the silence with you, to remind the collective you are never alone. God encoded this truth within you. Your remembrance is miracle. And so this episode 4, the sword, the scroll, and the surrender, this is the moment we remember that the dark is divine, that awakening is worth it, that ascensions and the ancestors inside of that ascensions, that was my ancestors talking there, by the way, is real, and that we are not victims. We are creators, y'all. That love is the only truth. It's the only truth, y'all. I love you, collective. I am Anita, the writer of the scroll. I am Miss L. I love you. I mean it. And I am in full embodiment now. And now, you are on your way, my loves. You are on your way. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. This is Miss L, the Divine Feminine, the High Priestess, the now used to be warrior for God, but now I just wear the crown. Now I take direction and I walk forward inside of the direction given to me by the Most High God. Yeah, I love you. I mean that. We'll talk soon.